to our ISI video channel where we discuss various topics related to international students and their health insurance needs. Today, we are joined by our very own Alexis Ponce, who will discuss the ins and outs of travel insurance. Alexis, welcome back. Thank you so much for joining us once again. Can you start by explaining a little bit more about what travel insurance is?
Hi, Sally. Yes, of course. And thank you for having me again. So, a medical insurance plan can come in many different forms, and this plan will typically include benefits for medical, travel, and trip protection. Now, travel medical insurance plans are designed to cover unexpected accidents or illnesses that could occur during a short-term trip outside of your home country or country of residence. These plans will include inpatient and outpatient benefits, benefits for prescription medication, medical evacuation, and repatriation. And although these plans usually focus the most on health, they can also include some travel benefits such as a trip interruption or lost checked luggage.
So a travel medical insurance plan is not just travel benefits. Like you said, it's really a health insurance plan, but with some additional travel benefits as well. Like exactly. You said. So perfect. How do those plans work when you're outside of the United States? Is there a plan network or what does that look like?
Outside of the United States, the coverage for eligible medical expenses works mostly on a reimbursement basis, especially for outpatient visits, for outpatient doctor's visits for a minor illness or injury. Depending on the insurance carrier, there might or might not be any providers set up for direct billing in the country that you'll be traveling to. But the good news about this is that you can go to any provider of your choice anywhere in the world and receive the same coverage on your plan.
I bought one of our travel insurance plans and I got into a surfing accident and I was able to use mine. I went to the nearest hospital and was able to get treatment for that. And I did have to pay up front, but then I was able to get reimbursed fairly quickly through the claims process. So I've done it too, but it is nice. You can go anywhere, like you said, to any provider, any hospital in the world outside of your home country, and you'll receive that same coverage wherever you go. There are some benefits to be aware of, or exclusions rather. How do travel insurance plans work when it comes to having a pre-existing condition?
Because these plans are designed to offer coverage for a short term, this type of health insurance plan typically excludes coverage for pre-existing conditions. However, many travel health insurance plans may offer limited coverage for an acute onset of a pre-existing condition. So this could cover up to a certain amount for a sudden reoccurrence of your pre-existing condition. In order to be considered an acute onset, you will need to meet the following criteria. So the symptoms will need to occur spontaneously and without advance or warning. An acute onset is also of short duration, rapidly progressive, and requires urgent. So what we will recommend is that if you do have a pre-existing condition that you're aware of, to make sure to have all of your necessary medication and are prepared in the event that something were to happen.
Pre-existing conditions aren't really covered unless, like you said, it falls under that acute onset category. So be prepared, have everything you need, see your doctor beforehand just in case anything arises, because pre-existing condition coverage typically costs a lot more. And I know that these travel plans are meant to be budget friendly, so that's why it's not covering something like that. How does it work with coverage when it comes to adventure sports?
So oftentimes when you have a trip planned, you maybe want to do some fun activities that you might not be doing on a normal basis, like something like skydiving, or maybe you're planning to go on a jungle safari. Adventure sports may be included in some travel insurance policies or may sometimes be added to the policy as an optional rider. These adventure sports can be defined as some sport activities that involve a higher risk of injury for the people who engage in them. For example, other common adventure sports are bungee jumping, parachuting, or windsurfing. The activities that are included under the adventure sports definition may vary from one insurance carrier to another. So what we would recommend is that if you're planning on engaging in adventure sports, that you make sure that your plan does not exclude coverage for that particular activity that you're looking to have covered. And for this, we recommend contacting your insurance agent for more advice.
Excellent advice. If you're going to be doing anything adventure related, check it out on your exclusions. Make sure that it is something that's going to be covered by your plan. Now, what is the difference? I've heard travel insurance, but then there's also trip cancellation insurance. Sometimes they're confused. What's the difference between a travel insurance plan versus a trip cancellation plan?
A trip cancellation plan is mainly designed to protect your trip and to cover the costs for non-refundable expenses that may arise from the cancellation or interruption of your trip, where the reason for the cancellation or interruption falls under the cover reasons as stated on the policy wording. Of course, this will depend on the plan that you're purchasing. These expenses could be airplane tickets, hotel fees, or cruise tickets, among others. And usually, this type of plan can only cover the cost for the cancellation or interruption of a trip for specific reasons, but depending on the plan, there might be an additional benefit that's called cancel for any reason that may be added to the policy. This benefit, for example, could be really handy right now that the COVID pandemic is going on, since COVID-19 or pandemics are not usual cover reasons for cancellations. However, it will be very important to know that if you're interested in a cancel for any reason benefit, that you will most likely need to purchase the policy within the next 20 days of the initial trip deposit.
The trip cancellation plans that we sell, and I've seen others as well, like you said, it does have that 20-day clause. So you will need to make sure that you buy that plan 20 days before, like you said, the initial trip deposit. So thank you for touching on that. Well, Alexis, we very much appreciate you rejoining us and providing us with more of your insight and knowledge in the insurance world. And we always appreciate having you. Thank you very much. If you have any questions about travel insurance or trip cancellation, feel free to contact our customer service team. You may even be lucky enough to be talking with Alexis. Thank you so much for joining us, and we hope to see you next time.
Thank you very much for having me again, Sally. And as you mentioned, we're always more than happy to help with any questions. Our team is always in the best disposition to clarify any questions or doubts that you may have about this type of policy.